Virginia is for lovers and history buffs. I'm Michael, and welcome to Traveling Tips. Each week, I guide you through the things to do and see, and places to eat, and exciting destinations. In this video, I'm taking you to the home of the first president of the United States. Join me to explore Mount Vernon. Located at the tip of the GW Parkway is Mount Vernon, the plantation home of the first president of the USA, George Washington. The mansion sits above the Potomac River, south of present-day Washington, D.C. George Washington became the sole owner of the land in 1761, shortly before the American Revolutionary War, and lived here until his death in 1799. The house has been restored to how it would have appeared in 1799 and is open to visitors 365 days a year, operated by the Mount Vernon Ladies Association since 1858. This property is 500 acres of riverfront farmland, worked by enslaved people to harvest tobacco, mixed crops, and grains. More than 300 enslaved people worked on the plantation at the time of Washington's death in 1799. His will called for their emancipation upon his wife's death. Mount Vernon is best accessed by car. Parking is available for free on-site with a short walk to the entrance. Rideshare services and local bus services will bring you here as well. You'll start your visit to Mount Vernon at the Visitor Center, where you can purchase your ground tickets and reserve house tour entry times. Tickets are $28 for adults. Once inside, you can watch the orientation film to learn about the history of Mount Vernon and President Washington. A large model of the house gives preview to the grandeur and wealth of the estate you're about to experience. A short walk brings you to the Money Shot, the long bowling green that leads up to the mansion. The house was built in 3 phases over the course of the time Washington owned the property. This side was initially the rear of the mansion, hence the non-symmetrical windows. There's so much to explore around the grounds while waiting for the mansion tour. I'm first heading down the hill towards the river dock and the lower farming fields. We first passed the carriage barns and other outbuildings that served the home. A little further down the hill is the fruit garden and nursery and the nearby animal paddocks. On today's visit, we're seeing some of Mr. Washington's sheep. At the bottom of the hill is the Potomac River. When Washington lived here, boats would arrive here to transport crops grown on the plantation down the river to Fredericksburg. In the summer months, a ferry will bring visitors here from National Harbor in Maryland. Nearby are some fields where those crops were grown and wheat was thrashed. This structure is known as the 16-sided barn. Washington engineered this structure in 1793 to bring the wheat thrashing process indoors. Horses would walk on the wheat on the upper floor, allowing the important grain to fall through the slats to be collected below. On the way back up the hill, you can visit the tomb of George and Martha Washington. A few steps away is a monument to the enslaved people who worked the land and the house at Mount Vernon. There are 2 gardens near the mansion to explore, referred to as the upper and lower gardens. The gardens have seasonal flowers and grew vegetables for the mansion's kitchen. After a stroll around the grounds, it's time to join the queue for the house tour. The tour guide asks that visitors refrain from taking video to keep pace moving through the house. The tour begins in the salon room, which was used for hosting social gatherings, dances, and large dinners. The room is meant to symbolize Washington's dream of American growth and expansion west. The Central Hall holds the key to the Bastille prison in Paris, which was a gift from the Frenchman, the Marquis de Lafayette, during the French Revolution to the father of democracy. Upstairs, the bedchambers are decorated in wallpaper and bright colors, which at the time were visible symbols of the Washington's wealth. The tour takes you through the first and second floor of the home. During the December holiday season, tours take you to the third floor of the mansion as well. The house tour takes about 40 minutes total. The side of the house that faces the river is under renovation as of spring 2022. However, visitors can still enjoy the view of the Potomac River and the Maryland shore in the distance from the yard. A few steps away from the mansion are the slaves' quarters. These rooms give a reminder to visitors about the poor living conditions that accompanied the hard work. The grounds of Mount Vernon are massive, from the gardens to the clusters of outbuildings for cooking, storage, and washing. Plan to spend at least 3 hours touring the grounds and house. At the end of the tour is a small museum, a food court, the Mount Vernon Inn restaurant, and the gift shop. The food court has somewhat limited options, so I'd recommend heading back down the road to Old Town Alexandria for a meal. This place exudes history. That's why a visit to the home of America's first president should be on the itinerary of all visitors to the National Capital Region. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. New videos are released every Monday morning. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.